Hi guys, good morning to everybody. This is KEL. Today is the 20th of February 2026. Crazy Global Market Talk with KEL. Crazy anytime, anywhere. All right, guys, good morning to all of you today. Now, today we have a lot of things to share with you, especially on the particular thing called the repo market. All right. Last night we saw a very big movement on the repo side. Not too sure why. But of course, the last time we see something like this, we all know that the market got a bit crazy within the month itself. So that's why today it'll be a very important day for you to come forward to listen to what I have to share. Now, end of the day, it's not about you or me. End of the day, the most important thing is this: we are here to make sure that you guys benefit from it as well. Yeah. Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. That's something that I need to share this with you. Just give me a moment. Here we go. Okay, that. Okay, now there are people who have been asking us, KEL, if I miss your video, what can I do, right? Now, guys, if you go to this, you just create CRAZII Market Talk with KEL, you can see that all my videos are there. There are translation being done. We have it in English. We have it in Vietnamese. We have it in Khmer. Okay, so all the videos are there. We have basically more than 2,000 videos that my team have been doing over the last 1.5 years or so. All right, so good job for them. Thank you, Susan and Disha, for doing all this good job here. Okay, so for those who missed my video, just go to CRAZII Market Talk with KEL. You actually can see that. All right, so disclaimer apply as usual. Please make sure that you do your risk assessment, because today I need you to really focus with me. Things are going to be very, very interesting here. Good morning to you, my friend, in the comment box. Okay, let's go into the fundamental first. Now, Japan inflation has fell below BOJ 2% target for the first time since March 2022. In all honesty, I don't buy that, because I have friends staying in Japan, I have relatives in Japan. They tell me that no, the inflation is not really coming down. So again, it's a very typical thing. And obviously, Japan is following US. The way they do it, construct it, is exactly the same. So, things can happen, right? Donald Trump decided to whether to attack Iran in the next 10 days. So that's why the oil price goes up. I told you guys, oil price will go up. And it has happened. We call it at $59, $60. Today, $66. So congratulations, 10% upside. All right. Now, due to the Epstein file, now Bill Gates has become the point of controversy at the India AI Summit. Well, that is very sad for him. And this age right now, going through this. And also, the trade deficit have totaled $901 billion in 2025, barely budging despite the Trump tariff. So imagine, without the Trump tariff, the trade deficit will pierce the $1 trillion mark. But because of Donald Trump tariff, he has so-called mellowed it down, okay, to a point of this, like, nothing much movement. So that is how bad it is. So the thing is this: the problem will be if the Supreme Court decide to, change view and thinks that Donald Trump, the tariff is actually illegal. My God, that will be a very big problem here. So yeah, okay. So that is the global news. So let's look at what happened overnight. Now the Dow dropped 260 points as private credit issue arises and Iran potential war with US carry on the way on the market. So the thing is this: right now, the Dow Jones lost 267 points, followed by the S&P dropped by about 2.8%, and NASDAQ down about 0.31%. Okay. So the thing is this: S&P for the year right now, today's February is 20th. The S&P is only up by 0.2%, while the Dow is actually up by 2%, and the NASDAQ is actually down by 2%. So the weight is moving around. The market is dumping AI to buy into defense stocks, apparently. Okay, now one thing to note is that Blue Owl Capital, as an alternative asset manager, they have just announced to tighten their investor liquidity. In short, they do not allow redemption. And then this is always one of the signs that something is wrong. And that's why immediately Blackstone, Apollo Global Management, all down by 5%. And I already told you guys, financial stocks will be the next one to be hit. And it's all surfacing right now. Okay, and Blue Owl Capital is not a small company. Okay, they have sold about 1.4 billion in loan assets. All right, and still not able to settle their problem. So this is not a good problem. Yeah, it shows that something is wrong with the market. Okay, and also because of this right now, the Iran and US fuel has continued. So what happened is this: if one side there is a war ongoing, on the right side, the financial products or the companies are having issue, we're going to have a bit of problem coming in. Yeah. So that's something I'll share with you because it also due to this Blue Owl Capital. I'll talk to you about this shortly. Yeah. Okay. For today's data, okay, I forgot to put in the calendar. Give me a while. Now, what is a repo purchase? Okay, or repo operation. Okay. Now, the repo is also known as the repurchase agreement. Market is a critical multi-trillion-dollar short-term funding market where financial institutions borrow or lend money, usually overnight, by selling government securities or collateral with an agreement to buy back them shortly at a higher price. So in short, it's like a very short-term sell and buyback thingy, whereby they sell the government securities to basically come in for funds. Okay, so why is there a necessity for them to do such a thing suddenly? So there's always a reason because something went wrong. And when something went wrong itself, like that is where people get jittery. Okay, so I'll talk about this very shortly, but today we have the PCE price index coming in. We have the GDP quarter on quarter coming in. Now do note the previous time was 4.4%. This time round at 3%. That means that basically there is a reduction, not an increment. Okay, and of course at the same time the PCE price index is expected to be higher, and then the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI is expected to be the same. And then the new home sales is about the same. So the thing is this right now, all the news is coming at 9:30 Singapore time to 10:45 Singapore time, and last one is at 11 o'clock Singapore time. So for those in Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, please shift by 1 hour. All right? Okay, so now why do I want you to come in today? Let me share you something that I just posted on my X. Okay, so first of all, one thing to note is that insiders continue to buy gold option, and the crazy part is that they are buying at 15 to 20,000 strike. Oh my god. Okay, seriously, the paper price is 5,000, but then people are buying ahead of time 15,000. I mean, seriously, I really don't buy that. Okay, I really don't believe in that because I mean, put it this way, if gold could go to 10,000, okay, not even 15,000, I think the inflation will kill us. And of course, if gold could go to 10,000, the silver market will kill us, okay? So I don't buy that. But I do buy that gold price will go higher. And my view, I told you guys, is 6,600 on average itself if the dollar do collapse, okay? So this one, I don't buy that. But I share this article with you. If you want to read more, you can go to my CRAZII.com and then you can find it, okay? Now, the thing is I'll share with you is this one here. The Federal Reserve repurchase agreement, the repo, spiked to 30 billion this morning. Now, take a look, yeah? Okay, so you can see that in 2001, okay, in 2001, we saw a massive movement here. Okay, in 2001, there was a huge spike up. I can't remember what was that. I'll dig out for you tomorrow or Monday. And then apparently that causes the stock market to sell off. Okay, so this is the first one here. Then the second one that spiked obviously is back in 2020 during the COVID period. Yeah, in the COVID period itself, where money is really run out of liquidity, the repo operation happened again, and you can see the market spiking up. And we all know that back then the stock market came down. So suddenly we see this again out of nowhere as of yesterday. There's a sudden spike like this. So the question is this: what happened again? So all I can say is this: every time there's a spike, we all know that within 2 to 3 weeks time, there's always been this selling off in the stock market. And of course, after that, immediately we also see the gold price moving upwards. So guys, these are something that we can start to watch, okay? Very, very important. All right. So the thing is this, this is done by someone. he basically did an analysis from 2019 on the NASDAQ, and he realized that every time when there's a double top formation at the peak area, we do have a 10 to 20% pullback. Okay, so of course, this is maybe just coincidence, maybe just by chance, but whatever it is, traders, just take note that something is definitely going very wrong in the market. And of course, all these typical signs are all happening. We need to be very careful. Yeah. Okay, so that is the NASDAQ for you. I'll cover more on the Ripple side. Okay, you can see this. Okay, this is the last time in 2020 where the Ripple shoot up and we have a technical recession. So now we are having it again, and this is the last time when it happened. And also, this is the company. Now, this company called Blue Owl Capital has permanently halt redemption. All right, it's 1.7 billion private equity fund. Okay, so this is not a small thing because it's a company that have $307 billion in AUM, asset under management. So they permanently halted the redemption due to liquidity mismatch. Obviously, that is very nicely worded. So the thing is this right now, when you do this, it signals a stress on the private credit market, okay? And when that all happened itself, right, in the past, we do see things going wrong. So now the thing is this, that's probably why the Federal Reserve have pumped in $18 billion overnight to basically to expect to hold a liquidity crunch. But if the whole credit market is to collapse, this is not going to be $18 billion worth. It will hit 100 to 200 to even $500 billion worth. So the thing is this right now, right? If the market has to consider now to cut interest rate or let the domino fall, according to this writer here as well, okay? So this is why I want you to be very careful, is that you can see that retail are pumping money. The normal investors pumping $48 billion into stock, buying at a high, while we have problem on the repo side, okay? So again, this is something that we have seen before. While the retail are buying, the big boys are getting out itself. We just had to monitor the market, and then you will know what to do. All right, all clear? If all clear, press number 1 right now, and thank you for listening. This is the main G's that I want to share with you. Now, end of the day, guys, I'm not here to sell the doomsday thingy. I'm just telling you what I've done my research in, and I'm sharing this with you. Of course, end of the day itself, if nothing happened, that's always good. But if I know something is going to happen soon, and I'm telling you, and you benefit from it, I think that is the most important thing, right? But again, there's no need to predict the market. The market don't need to predict. The market just need to follow and just trade according to rules, okay? Okay, let's go into the technical right now, and then we'll go deep into this. Now, last night, I had a conversation with some friends. They're asking me, KEL, what's your view on gold here? So why the gold is not coming down, or why AIM is going up? Okay, let me explain to you in my personal view, yeah? So gold, as we know, from the highest point A, fell all the way to B, right? But the thing is this, the boys were buying relentlessly, even at B. So the gold price increases to here itself, which is C. Okay, just think of ABC. And then after that, the market took some profit, as you can see, and we have it at D right now. So the thing is this, when the KSI is green, the market goes up, we can understand. But the problem now is this, the market is not coming down, despite the boys are selling. So this is something that I ask myself, if the KSI is selling and yet the price is not coming down, then there's only one answer to this. If the market breaks up itself, right, gold will fly up. Okay, I repeat, if the market breaks above it, gold will fly up. And how high would it go? Well, the KCB here, 1 minute, is 5385, right? We talked about this before, 5385, all right? So which means that now we have 5,000. That means that there is a potential to see $385 upside in the near term. Okay, there is a potential to see this, and this is going to be very, very lucrative if you can capture this run. Okay, so that's why I want you to come in, because now with the Ripple coming in, that means that there's a lot of printing, and when there's printing, that means that there will be a dollar crisis. A dollar crisis will mean the stock market will pull back, and then if the Iran war happen, the gold price will be pushed up, and at the same time, the repo will push up the dollar, and then this will push the gold higher. Can you understand this right now? So this is something that you can use a chart to see, or you can use whatever I have now to share this with you. Now, I'm not buying a lot of gold at the moment. I bought some gold, but then again, I took some profit, and I'm watching this very closely. So this one, all clear? Very important, yeah? End of the day, you need to understand this. Okay, not too sure what you wrote over there, my friend, in Vietnamese. So if anyone can translate for me, that'd be good, yeah? Okay, all right. So that is the part one, yeah? Now let's look at part two. Okay, part two, yeah? Okay, okay. So part two, remember this chart? I showed this to you guys. Okay, let me just change the color. Okay, so I told you guys that now gold is bouncing around in a very interesting way. And I also mentioned to you at the moment right now, right, 5138 is a very important resistance level, 5138. So if gold really close above 5138, gold will go up to 5385 very easily. So this 5138, this number you must remember, 5138, yeah? Very important number. So I shared my friend with this. I said, look, well, there's a few KCB over here. If you want above OP buy, but put a stop loss just below OP by $5-6 if you are very positive that the market is going to go up. On a flip note, if you think the market is going to go down, you just sell below OP, put a few dollars on the top end, and then aim for the KCB over here. So end of the day, it's a very simple thing. If you believe down, you just aim downwards below OP. You think it's going to go up, you aim upwards above OP, yeah? So if you happen to like tell yourself, KEL, I want to be buyer and seller at the same time, then you're going to get confused because you're like, you buy also wrong, you sell also wrong, okay? So this one, I'm not too sure how to advise you. But again, if you look at this right now, just give me a minute. Okay, hold on. I put in a gold chart again. Take a look, everybody. Now, this is the 5% rule for those who are PTP trained or going to be CMC trained. You can see that 5038 is the 90th percent mark level. All right, you can see it's jittering across for quite a while. So if you want to have a lower number to aim for, 5038, that means that if gold can stay above 5038, gold will start to move up to the 5135 target itself. Okay, so this one is the 5% rule. So if all is well, the next target is 5318 based on the 5% rule here itself. Yeah. So there's two views here. One is the one I showed earlier. This is the second one based on the 5% rule. Okay, 5% rule. Yeah. Now, how about Fibonacci? Of course, I know everybody want me to draw the Fibonacci chart, and the way I draw is always very unique. People like it, so I'm gonna share this with you. Yeah. See a moment. I get the chart out first. Okay. So remember, I did a Fibonacci chart on silver back then, and I predicted silver will have a resistance at about 115 area. And of course, that's where the silver collapsed. So you got my point? Yeah, pretty decently accurate. Yeah. Okay, so I leave it there. And then after that, I did it for gold. Okay, so let me just bring the chart in. Okay, now I take away this on. Oh, this is silver. Okay, never mind. On. Okay, now do it for gold. Everybody take a look. Now this is gold. Okay, and this is the entire movement. So many people use a high and low to drag. Okay, and you get your Fibo. So I change my color a bit, yeah, hold on. So it'll be clearer for your eye. Okay, so using the high-low, I have my Fibo, which shows very clearly that there's a very strong resistance at 5138, which is the same number that I talked about, the middle ground, exactly. And that was where the gold stopped back then, okay? So it's very clear right now that we do have a very strong resistance at 5138 level, all right? And you look carefully, the last few days, the Fibo pulls back and stopped exactly at the 38.2, all right? And holds there, and now is resisted at the 50% mark. Now this 50% mark is about 4,999, around there. So which means that if gold can stay above 5,000, the psychological level, there is a potential to see 5138. So again, this is the third thing that you can take on, and this is FIBO. And if you ask me itself, right, 5,000 is a very important psychological level that the gold has to overcome to go up. So that's why I feel that, okay, I feel that if you want to buy gold, as long as above $5,000, you can consider to buy some gold and keep. But of course, if you think that you want to trade in and out, just make sure you buy above 5,000 and the market goes below 5,000, you see what a comfortable level to sell. I let you decide. Okay, all clear? If all clear, press number 2 right now. Yeah. Now today's sharing is a bit longer than usual because I want you guys to benefit from this. Okay, that's more important. Yeah. Okay, so I'm done with the external sharing, with FIBO, with the charts, fundamentals, blah, blah. So I hope that you guys enjoy this session. Now we're going to go into our usual indicator. All right, so for gold today, you can see that the 5-minute chart very clear, almost amazing. All right, you can see this. Get a 5-minute chart. Hold on, let me make it a bit. Okay, so for gold this morning, gold open here, went up and stopped exactly at the KTR plus 0.5, amazing. And then after that came back down, broke OP, stopped exactly at the MLP. So I shorted here, I bought back here. Now why I do that? Because I just feel that gold will stop MLP. And truth be told, it stopped. And then what's crazy is that the way it stopped is incredible. Look at it. It's exactly at the MLP. No more, no less. Exactly. And when it rebounded, you notice this, it stopped exactly at OP. So that is why OP is a very, very powerful indicator. As long as the market stays below OP, it's a sell. So when the market closed above OP, which is here, I knew instantly it will go up. So I bought up again. And remember, the KTR is 5016.08, right? And I told you before, if you want to make it simple, you minus 1.5, you get a number. So if 1.5 is out, you get about 5014.5 plus plus, right? Something like that. And the high today is, let me see. Okay, hold on. The high of today is 5014.8. So which means that if you actually put this number for TP, you will have taken profit here. Right, I told you guys to consider to minus 1.5 if you are a buyer. If you are a seller, you plus 1.5. Okay, so this is a rough estimate, and that's why you can see that gold touches that point and come off. And now you can see it's holding the OP again, but the boys are piling in to sell. So not surprised if the gold breaks below OP again, it'll come back down to MLP. But conversely, true. If later on it hangs above OP and turns yellow, I'm definitely going to buy it up to KTR plus 1. Okay. So guys, 2 views here. If you want to buy, wait for the color to turn to yellow. If you want to sell, wait for it to go to below OP, then you sell. Okay. So there's 2 camps here. You decide what to do. Clear, yeah? Very, very simple, very direct. Okay, next one, which is the Dow Jones. Dow Jones, interesting. Again, the price has been coming down, but the boys have been buying relentlessly. But there's something to monitor is that the buying has started to tone down a little bit. Now, today we have the OP, the MLP, and the MA very near to one another. Now, the thing is this 94440, which is something very nearby, is a bear selling indicator. So which means that if the market cannot cross 94440 and pull back below OP, I'm pretty sure we will see the pivot 2 at 48,954. Okay, so this one I'm pretty confident that you're there because I have been studying the MA for quite a while, and I kind of realized that to use MA is not difficult. You just have to use price action and follow through. Yeah, so this is something that you can consider doing that. Okay, and the same thing itself, if you look carefully on a 5-minute chart, I give a quick review on this. Okay, you can see that the market opens here this morning, touched the OP exactly, and then rebounded. And once it goes up, it touches the MA30, right? By right, it should go higher or lower depending on the market. At the point itself, you can see the market really holding the MA30, and now it seems to be rejecting MA30. So let's see how it goes. right? If it stays up again, you're going to go up to KTR +1. This one is quite clear, yeah? Okay, next market to take note will be the Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin today have traded a little bit higher at 67,000, but the boys are still selling. So no, I don't think you should buy Bitcoin. If you're in a rebound itself, most likely you come back down again to test the 65,000. Yesterday already almost testing it, yeah, and rebounded. So again, pretty spot on for Bitcoin. And of course, crude oil, I've been telling you this guy to buy crude oil. I have not changed my directive on crude oil. I say that crude oil is a buy. I've been saying this for quite a while. Okay, let me just bring a crude oil chart in. It seems to be having some problem pulling it up. Okay, so crude oil $66. Congratulations. Eh? For those who have followed me to buy crude oil yesterday, well done. Now, yellow, buy. KSI green, buy. KSCX black, buy. So everything is a buy for crude oil. So crude oil, how much will it go? I think today we'll see $67.26. But if you ask me on a feel, I feel that $68.26 most likely will happen. So both end with 26 cents. Interesting. So why do I think so? Because I think that this, if the Donald Trump want to divert attention, he had to throw in on Iran side itself. So $68.26 is my personal target for crude oil. So you decide and see. Now, the higher the crude oil price goes up, the more inflation worry there is, then the more pressure there will be. And then after that itself, right, the dollar will likely be crumpling. And when dollar crumple, we're going to see the gold price going up. Okay. So this one, do take note. But one thing to realize, if the stock market do go down a fair bit, the boys will dump the gold just to cover back margin call before buying out again. Okay, all clear? All right, guys, thank you very much for listening to me once again. Today is a great day. Do your homework and prepare for your trading. Bye-bye, guys. Take care.